I'm Bernina expert Amanda Murphy, and I'd like to show you my Every Curve rulers. They're a set of 3 rulers that are part of my Good Measure quilting ruler collections for Brewer sewing. This set really starts where every circle set leaves off because it gives you arcs for a variety of larger circles, and it also includes a straight line ruler, which you can see here. I'm quilting piano keys, and I want to ensure that the lines are an even distance apart, and I'm using the lines on the ruler to do that. So I'm using them to make sure my lines remain parallel, but also when I travel up the side of my quilting area, I'm using the lines of the ruler. All the lines on this ruler are either 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch, or 1 inch apart. So I can use the lines on the ruler to know how far to stop to go before I stop and start stitching another direction. You want to stay very steady when you're quilting on a domestic machine. The speed doesn't really matter because it's unique for each individual, but you want to try to stay steady regardless of whether you prefer to stitch fast or slow. So again, I'm using those lines on the ruler so I know where to stop and where to rotate my ruler. If I'm a little off, I can always go back or forward just 1 stitch to get it perfect. The rest of the edges on these rulers allow you to stitch very large, generous curves. So you saw that was labeled 8 inches. That means that the stitch line is actually an 8-inch circle curve. So you can use this by drawing crosshairs and making marks along the crosshairs and using the ruler to connect those various marks so you can get a big 8-inch circle, or you could use just part of the curve. I'm going to continue here going around the circle. This set of rulers contains a number of curves. They're based on circles that start at 7 inches and go all the way up to 12 inches. So they're also perfect for connecting points of a block. This ruler, like the other rulers in the line, has a non-skid backing and 2 colors of markings. So when you have a large 6-inch block or 5-inch block, it's great to use these rulers to connect the points in the block. But you also can use them to quilt big petals. So here, I'm going to use the line of the ruler and place it on a chalked line. And I'm going to stitch along the curve until I get to the point that the stitched line intersects my chalk mark. And my thread slipped out, so I'm going to put it back in. That can sometimes happen with ruler work just because you're changing direction so much. So now I'm going to stop. I'm going to rotate my ruler and stitch back. So it's great for creating big petals or filling big blocks. You could actually do a petal on each radiating line around a circle and create a beautiful blossom or flower. That and other ideas are featured in my Ruler Work Quilting Idea Book, which is published by C&T Publishing. I hope that you've enjoyed seeing some of what the Every Curve set of rulers can do.